Okay, so have you ever tried to buy something online and the website's just taking forever to load?
Oh, tell me about it.
It's like the worst, right?
Yeah, it's like the kiss of death for online sales.
Totally. And that's actually what we're diving into today, this whole world of Oracle CPQ and Akamai integration.
It's all about making those online experiences, especially for complex product configurations, as smooth and as fast as possible.
Music to my ears. But for those who might not be familiar, let's break it down a bit. We're talking about Oracle CPQ, which helps businesses, configure, price, and quote their products.
Right, so think about businesses that sell customizable products, things like computers with different specs or manufacturing equipment with various options. CTQ helps them manage all those configurations and give customers accurate quotes.
Okay, that makes sense. But then we've got Akamai thrown into the mix, which is a whole other beast, right?
Kinda, yeah. Think of Akamai as this massive network of servers all over the world. Like imagine your favorite pizza place suddenly had locations everywhere.
Okay, I'm following.
No matter where you are, you could get a pizza delivered in minutes because there's a shop right around the corner.
So Akamai is like the global pizza delivery network for websites.
Exactly. It stores copies of website data like images, videos, even code on servers all around the globe.
So when someone tries to access a website, their request doesn't have to travel all the way back to some central server. It's like grabbing that pizza from the shop down the street.
You got it. And that's what makes this integration with Oracle CPQ so powerful. It's about bringing that speed and efficiency to the world of complex product configuration.
Okay, so we're talking about shaving off milliseconds, maybe even full seconds from that initial page load, right?
Exactly, and those fractions of a second can make a huge difference. In the world of online sales, speed is king. Customers expect things to load instantly, and if a site's lagging, they're likely to just go elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I do. So how does Oracle CPQ actually tap into this network of speedy servers? What's the connection point?
Through some clever configuration, Oracle CPQ can be set up to route all customer domain requests through Akamai's edge servers.
Edge servers. So like those local pizza places we talked about, the ones on the front lines.
Right, they're like the first point of contact for anyone trying to access the CPQ site.
Hmm.
And because Akamai has likely cached the site's content on a nearby server, they can deliver that data much, much faster.
Okay, so we're talking about a serious speed boost here, which I'm sure businesses love.
Absolutely. It's all about delivering a seamless and efficient experience for customers, which ultimately translates to more sales and happier customers.
So we've got Oracle CPQ hitching a ride on Akamai's super fast network. But hold on a sec, because there's more to the story, right? Like I was going through the CPQ Akamai integration.pdf, and I bumped into this thing, a vanity domain. Now, I'm all for spicing things up, but what's the big deal here?
It's not about just looking fancy, even though having a custom domain name does make a brand look way better.
Mhm.
Think of a vanity domain as reserving a VIP fast lane on this Akamai Expressway. It's making sure that all customer requests are going directly through Akamai's servers, getting those speed benefits we talked about.
Hold up, hold up. You mean without a vanity domain, some requests might take a detour and miss that Akamai fast track?
That's exactly it. Some might end up going straight to the origin server, which could be a lot slower.
Mm.
It's like opting for the scenic route when you're already running super late.
Ouch, no thanks.
Yeah.
I get it now. It's not some random tech term. It's about giving every single user a fast, smooth experience, right?
You got it. That's even more important when it comes to CPQ, where customers are making big decisions and need a website that moves as fast as they do. Speaking of moving fast, we can't forget about security.
Oh, absolutely not. We're talking sensitive information here. Pricing, configurations, customer details.
Right.
We don't want any digital chaos going on.
You're right to be cautious. Luckily, Akamai takes security very seriously. One way they beef things up is through Content Security Policy, or CSP.
CSP sounds kind of secretive.
It kinda is, but we're talking code, not trench coats and sunglasses. Think of CSP headers as this set of rules in the website's code, like a super strict bouncer to the VIP club. They control which resources, like images, scripts, and other files, are allowed to interact with the website.
So if there's a shady script trying to crash the party, CSP shows at the door.
You know it. It's like a digital bodyguard for your website, protecting it from attacks like cross-site scripting. That's when hackers try to sneak in malicious code.
Well, that's reassuring. But wait a minute. I see here in the CPQ security guide.pdf that Akamai doesn't stop there. What about sub-resource integrity? More security measures?
You bet. Imagine sub-resource integrity, or SRI, as putting, tamper-proof seals on all the packages a website gets.
Okay, now you've got my attention. Tell me more.
So let's say your website's using a script from a content delivery network, like those images and code bits we were discussing. SRI uses something called cryptographic hashes to make sure these files haven't been messed with.
Cryptographic hashes. Sounds complicated.
Actually, it's quite elegant. Imagine each file has a unique digital fingerprint. SRI checks this fingerprint on arrival to make sure it matches the original.
So if someone tries to swap a good file for a bad one, SRI catches them red-handed.
Exactly. It's like having a digital detective on the case, making sure everything's legit.
This is what blows my mind about these deep dives. You uncover these small, often overlooked details that have a huge impact. Most people wouldn't even know these things exist.
That's the mark of a well-designed system. All the technical complexities are handled behind the scenes so that users can focus on what really matters.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, speed, security, but I'm really curious to unpack how this integration actually works on a practical level.
Let's get down to the nuts and bolts then.
All right, so I've got the Commerce CPQ Implementation Guide 19a.pdf right here, and it's got all these configuration steps, custom buttons, JSON payloads. To be honest, it's a bit much.
I hear ya. It can get pretty technical pretty fast, but don't worry, we don't need to become coding experts overnight. The goal here is to understand what these steps are doing, what's their purpose.
Exactly, exactly. So let's say a customer's on a CPQ site. They've picked out their dream product, customized everything, and now they're ready to buy. What happens when they hit that Add to Cart button?
That's where the integration magic really happens. That button, it's not just a button, it's like a trigger. When a customer clicks it, it sets off this whole chain reaction that sends all the info about their configuration, what they picked, the price, everything, right over to the Commerce Cloud cart.
Oh, so it's like a relay race. CPQ passes the baton to Commerce Cloud, and boom, the customer is one step closer to checkout.
You got it. And the way the information is packaged and sent over, that's where the JSON payload comes in.
JSON payload. Okay, that sounds a little intimidating, not gonna lie.
I promise, it's not as scary as it sounds. Think of JSON like a universal language that different computer systems use to talk to each other. Make sure that both CPQ and Commerce Cloud understand the data being exchanged.
So no communication breakdowns, no data getting lost in translation. That's got to be reassuring for businesses, right?
Absolutely. And all those configuration steps we were talking about, they're like the instructions, mapping out exactly what data goes into that JSON package and how it all lines up with the Commerce Cloud cart. It's all about making that checkout process as smooth and error-free as possible.
Wow, it's amazing how these little details, these lines of code and data packages, they all add up to a better experience for the customer.
It's the difference between someone breezing through checkout
Yeah.
and someone abandoning their cart because it's too complicated or frustrating.
Well said, well said. So, to wrap things up for our listeners today, we've learned how Akamai is like this global speed boost for websites, making them super fast and reliable. We dug into things like vanity domains, content security policy, and sub-resource integrity. All those behind-the-scenes heroes working to keep things safe and secure. And we even got a little technical with those configuration steps, seeing how they make sure data flows smoothly between Oracle CPQ and Commerce Cloud.
It's been a great deep dive, really seeing how these technologies all come together to create a smoother, faster, and more secure experience for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about. We've mainly focused on the customer side of things today, but think about the impact this integration has on businesses themselves. One of the documents, integrating Oracle sales with Oracle-CPQ.pdf, mentioned how powerful it can be to connect Oracle sales and Oracle CPQ. Imagine sales teams with real-time access to CPQ data right there in their CRM system. They could create accurate quotes on the fly, track interactions, streamline their entire workflow. It could totally change the way they sell. And that, my friends, is what the deep dive is all about, giving you the knowledge to understand not just the what, but the why and the so what of these powerful technologies. So keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.